toes down, chisel.
Welcome in, everyone. As you should have seen around the business, the theme for this year's Black History Month is African Americans in Labor, Seeds of Change, and What It Means to You. Just a few housekeeping notes before we dig into our conversation. It wouldn't be a conversation for change if we didn't have the option to listen to our panel in Spanish. There's a little globe on the lower right hand side of your screen. If you click it, you can listen to our incredible partners from TTG translating live. We also encourage everyone to use the chat function and send us a reaction to statements that resonate most with you. We definitely want this to be interactive. To get us started, let's hear from our Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Trudy Halliman. Take it away, Trudy.
Thank you so much, Trisha. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so excited to be with you all today. During this, particularly within for this Black History Month celebration, I wanted to anchor us in what the theme of the month meant for us on the panel, thinking through African Americans in labor, thinking about how all of the work that we all do collectively embeds the Flick brand, helps us to really take care of our families, helps us to have a source of pride, but also shows so much innovation, so much passion, so much strength, and so much determination. I don't know if there could have been a better theme, particularly this year for Black History Month, because we all need to recognize that our collective work, our collective endeavors are a part of the fabric of this country. And while Black History Month is in February, Black history is permeates the entire year, and Black history, as they say, is American history. Um, you will hear from a number of folks who are at different levels of their leadership within the company. Some folks have been with the company over for decades, some, a few short years. The common thread with all of them is that they're all leaders and they all have something that we think is important for you to hear, and they all have calls to action. I want to advise that some of the folks are going to say things that will make you a little uncomfortable. And when you start to feel a little bit of discomfort because maybe the presentation is a different from what you recognize in your own bodies, lean into that and try to understand why you feel a little bit discomfort and how you can move through that and maybe get to the other side of change. What we want to have happen from all of these conversations is to call to action and really to interrogate and to get to change. I will turn this back over to Trisha and we'll hear from our wonderful panelists. Thank you again for spending some time with us this afternoon. Get ready for a dynamic conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Trudy. Let's get to know our panelists. Tristan?
Good afternoon. Thank you. I am resilient. I am outgoing. I am a gym rat. My name is Tristan Brown. I am Flick Safety at Merck PA. Jason, off to you.
I am a father of three. I'm a coach. I'm an avid golfer. I'm Jason Reed, Director of Data Services at NCR. Melissa?
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm assertive, I'm loyal, and I'm committed. I am a senior receptionist as well as a conference room coordinator. I'm part of the networking team in New York. Emmanuel?
Hello, everyone. I'm a father of four. I'm a basketball coach, and I'm dedicated. Hi, my name is Emmanuel Lee, and I am the chef manager at Notre Dame Prep in Michigan. Trisha?
I am family oriented, author, and love activist. Trisha Mitchell, Business Processes and Intelligence Manager for the New York region. Okay, let's jump right in. The current legislation has made some moves in the federal DEI space that seem to support a zero sum bias theory. This is a thought process that you may not have heard of, as I had not, where a person has the false intuition that one person's gain directly means your loss. Or, in other words, if he gets a slice of the pie, there'll be no pie for me. So, when I think DEI, I immediately think of affirmative action. How has DEI and initiatives impacted you, or how do you think these new changes may affect you? Jason?
Yes. I don't think that the DEI will have an impact with us only because I don't think DEI was ever. I thought it's a false illusion. I don't think we have a program set here at Flick. We advertise it, we show it off, but I think we could do better. I see we at the ground level. Yes, we are full of Black and brown people. When we start going up through the ranks, we get less and less. So I don't think the DEI will really affect what's going on here. I don't think it meant anything in the first place. I think we still got a lot of work to do.
Uh-huh. Okay. Does anyone else want to add to that?
Sure. I think that's a good question, Trisha. I wouldn't say zero sum bias has affected my day to day, but there has been times where I've experienced zero sum bias throughout my life. As Jason said, the false intuition, if one person direct means or loss to someone must miss out on opportunity or a piece of the pie, it is false intuition. I believe there is opportunity for everyone who has the ambition to drive and have the drive to succeed. You know, others may experience workplace tension. Employees might hesitate to share credit for success or collaborate on projects, fearing that acknowledging others' contribution could undermine their own understanding. Another one could be social dynamic. In a group setting, an individual may feel threatened by the success of their peers, leading to negative feelings or rivalry instead of creating a supportive environment and working with each other and working together. And I'll give you an example of what I experienced in the past. Um, I graduated college with a bachelor's degree in business management. And for 2 years, I applied for a job within the field and I kept getting turned down. And after a while, I decided to ask the reason why. And I was told I was overqualified for the position, which was mind blown to me. Like, how can I be overqualified for a position that I went to school for? And then it hit me zero sum bias. You know, if I was given the opportunity to showcase my talent and my knowledge, that mindset is there won't be opportunities for others when in fact there's opportunities for everyone. For me, understanding and addressing zero sum bias can promote and collaborate a constructive approach in various aspects of life. So that's where I stand on zero sum bias.
Whew. Well, I can say that I agree with what both of y'all have said, and I'm happy that the two of you had the courage to say what you said. But basically, to me, that just sounds like more work that has to be done. Well, it's a fact that throughout history, us Blacks have always been involved in the community. We've had to stand up for ourselves and uplift our neighbors. And with that, any initiative that supports us is automatically allowed for other underrepresented people, including Hispanics and Asians, which is probably why many of us haven't heard of and don't typically think like a zero sum bias person would think. So speaking of just inclusion, when it comes to the community, I know a lot of y'all remember the days when you did something and like we had like a real community where the neighbors would jump in and you already be tore up or whatever was going to happen, and then they tell your parents on you. And like I know that that didn't directly affect your neighbor, right? They didn't benefit from helping you and teaching you a lesson in that moment. So can you guys tell me some ways that things that what you do have impacted the community or ways that the community may have impacted you? I think Emmanuel, you look like you want to answer this question.
I do. Well, I think it's an amazing question. It's a tough question because we were back in that where, you did something wrong and, you got told on before you even made it home. But it taught me a lot, doing that thing, by the neighbors doing that. And then, the street lights rules too, had to be home before the street lights get cut on. It just taught me how, I call it the snitch syndrome, right? In our world, we have to deal with a lot of, don't snitch in the streets, things like that. And that's where I grew up from. But it also taught me a deeper mindset and how to change, how can I change that, and how can I grow my community by, the snitch method. And they actually they actually taught me, like, if I'm getting you in trouble before you even make it home, you know, what are you going to do about it? So my focus and how it impacted me was just to be a better person. Just to not put myself in those situations, and to talk to, young black men and women like me about, how do you grow out of that, get yourself out of that snitch mindset. And I have done a lot with it, some of it not so much, it's still toxic in our community. But I think just that method and just that ammunition gave me, blast off to try my best every single day to, to help with the street rules. Being in a more business savvy company, and seeing my growth throughout my stages. So I just want the same for my community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. M- Melissa, did you want to chime in on this one? Okay, looks like Melissa might be frozen, but let me just add to that. I like how you said if you do better, you don't have to worry about nobody snitching on you. Just be a better person.
Right.
So,
I would have to agree that it is very easy to get caught up. Especially when you're with your friends and they're doing things and you want to join in, and be a part of that company is easy to get caught up and mixed up in the wrong crowd. So for me, unfortunately, time hasn't presented itself for me to impact my community as yet. But I would like to impact it in the future when time does present itself. And some of those things for me that I do think about, I would say, is volunteering, engaging in a local charity, or events with significant improvement to my community, like donating or passing out a food bank, helping the less fortunate. Another one for me, which I am currently doing, and I also did previously, is mentoring, and also tutoring, which can do a positive influence for the younger generation, instead of, like Emmanuel was saying, be negatively in the street. Mentor the younger generation to think more positively, move more positively. And lastly, for me, environmental incentives. I love the beach. I'm Jamaican, so I always want to go to a clean and decent beach. So improving on cleaning up for sustainability, removing plastic waste from the ocean, I know, and keeping up with sea creatures and the life of the ocean. So those are things that I will say I would like to impact my community in the future.
yes,
I-
I love that.
I've also, I've helped, well, at a young age, I've read to children with Down syndrome. And then moving to New York City, I've been exposed to a lot of homelessness. So I started working at Starbucks, and whenever there was leftover sandwiches, I would take it and distribute it amongst, lower income and homeless people I've seen, which also brings me to a situation where I was front desk at an old account at Rockefeller, and I saw a man walking, no shirt, no socks, and he was just walking by. And I felt bad. I immediately asked my manager, "Can I go downstairs and grab a shirt for him?" She's like, "Yes, please go." I ran downstairs. I came back up. I gave him a button-down shirt, my uniform, and a sweater that we had. And I saw he didn't have no socks or sneakers, so I took off the socks off my feet and I gave it to him. I couldn't give him sneakers because we didn't wear the same size, but it's small gestures like that that I like to try to give back. I see a homeless person, if they want food, I'll buy them a sandwich or give them something. But it's like little things like that where I feel like I volunteer and I help out the community.
Yeah, it really feels good to hear what you guys are doing in your communities, and it does inspire me to want to do more as well. So let's go to work, right? So as far as work is concerned, I have to give kudos to the Entrepreneurial Council because they kept my name in rooms that I wasn't in physically, and that led me to where I am today. So can any of you tell me some ways that your career at Flick has contributed to the support and maintenance of yourself and your family? Emmanuel?
Well, another great question. I think it impacted me a great deal. I've been in Compass for actually going on my 14th year now. I was in URS for 8 of those 13. And coming to Flick really put things in perspective on family time. Um, so I just give total admiration to Flick and how they reworked my schedule to working all the time and not really caring about your salary, so you are around the clock, and really keeping a peace of mind to you have to have your family time um and you can grow within that family time as well. So I love it. I love being within Flick and hope to keep moving through Flick.
Yeah, absolutely. Melissa, I think you want to add to that.
Yes. So I started at Flick as a GSA at Rockefeller Group, and immediately, like my energy, my enthusiasm, my commitment to customer service gave me the opportunity to advance at a new account. So right there, I got promoted to become a conference room coordinator. I was excited. I let my family know. I told my niece back in my country how great it is. And I also advised my parents and my family here, how this is great for me and as well for them because I could better support them overseas as well as have time for my aging parents here, take them to the doctor's appointment, even myself, take myself to doctor's appointments. But I express my enthusiasm to my niece, who also has a passion for customer service and enthusiasm for work, that when she comes here to this country, I told her what a great opportunity it is to join the Flick team because Flick offers, you know, all these resources. And I said, even though there might be a language barrier and a little difficulty, understanding, Flick's commitment to diversity and inclusion will make the transition much smoother for her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tristan, I want to give you an opportunity to answer this question as well.
Sure. Great question. Um, Flick, I came to Flick based off of one big reason. There's many reasons, but one big reason. And I think that coincide with what everyone else is already saying, and that's work-life balance, right? Um, it contributes a lot to my life while working here at Flick for the last 2 years. Um, give you a little backstory. I previously worked for a senior living community as a food service manager, and while doing that, it took a lot out of me. And meaning, early mornings, late nights, no days off, still being bothered when I was off. And it was physically and it was mentally draining. Um, and also, I'm glad because my father took a turn for the worse. And I was just grateful to work for Flick, to know that they care about their employees, to take time when needed, was just a blessing for me. I remember the day when I told my reporting manager I will need time away due to my father being ill. And his response was just amazingly sympathetic and supportive. And what he said was, take care of your family. We put family first here at Flick. So I would say I'm truly grateful for that, to work for a company that cares about their associates.
Oh my God. I love that for y'all and for all of us. Jason, you're not off the hook. So,
Well,
yeah, please.
no, I was gonna say I was more like a manual. My wife gave me an ultimatum and told me I needed to get some better hours. So I was with Wolfgang Puck at the time, and I was working 7 days a week. And so was it 13 years now I've been with Flick, and haven't looked back. I love it. I was able to move to Georgia. Thank you, Adam Salem. Uh, and now I can give back to the community while I'm here, enjoy my family, and have enjoy my weekends, play golf, and coach my football and basketball teams.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, that's really what it's about, right? We love our jobs and things like that, but to have that family life, that's important. So, my labor of love is that I'm an insight coach and peer mentor that motivates women from single moms to CEOs that just feel stuck in life to find and take actions to heal themselves. And that progress that they make is very therapeutic for me. So, this is how I exhibit a labor of love. What are some ways that you exhibit a labor of love for yourselves? And Jason, I'm going to start with you.
Well, my labor of love, is three things. Uh, 90s hip hop. That's the only true genre of music is the best hip hop. So, golfing, and everyone knows I love to golf. I talk about it all the time, and I will go out with anybody if anybody wants to play. And then my third love is New York sports. Let's go Knicks. Let's go Giants. Let's go Mets. I'm talking all day. Let's go. Whenever someone wants to talk about it, let's go. That is my piece.
I am not taking that bet. Kristen, you want to go next? I think you got some labor of love things that you do.
Yeah, my my labor of love is to acknowledge each and every associate every day by saying good morning, giving a fist bump. You know, I know when I was an hourly associate, growing in my career, that acknowledgement from leadership, it goes a long way. You never know what someone is going through in their life, at work, and a simply hello, it does go a long way. I would think so. It does make a big difference. And I believe that in any company, the workers, there are the backbone of the company. You know, in retrospect to our company, if there's no chef, there's no food, right? If there's no utility workers, there's no clean items to use. Long story short, it's good to be noticed. It's just a sign of respect for everyone who helped the company move forward to be successful.
Absolutely. Melissa?
Oh, so I wear black all day. My black uniform is a blank canvas of my personality. So, I like to express myself by wearing different glasses, have a different pair every day. I like to dress up my hair differently every week, whether it's box braids, cornrows, curls, afro, ponytail, everything's different. And I also like to do a nice creative artsy nail design. Right now I'm blank, but we're not going to talk about that. Um, but I also enjoy 20 to 30 minutes that I take every morning on a bike ride to work, to and from work every day. And that time motivates me and positions me in a mindset where I can uplift and give an enjoyable atmosphere to the guests, to my fellow peers, to anybody that comes up to me and communicates and associates with me. This time that I have for myself prepares me to be a better me so I could give the best me and you could have a better day. I put myself in a great position in that 20 to 30 minutes of biking so I can make the day go smoother for my peers, for the guest, and that's how I stay my authentic self and how much I have love for the job.
Yes, girl. That whole biking thing, super one
Yeah.
in my book.
Yep. Love it.
Emmanuel, I would love to hear what your labor of love is.
Well, mine is just showing up authentic as possible. You know, in this and sometimes in a company and in corporate, we can't, the employees that we have, like for me, just example, my entire team is black and it's in a predominantly, Caucasian school. So I have to keep them motivated. So I show up as authentic as I possibly can, I show up with a smile. I don't bring things to work, I tell them every single day, leave that outside. We are a family in here. I see you more than my four kids, my wife, my mom, my household. So in here, I would love for y'all to just take 8 hours of your day and love each other. We want to fight each other. If we want to argue with each other, just do it respectfully, and be authentic about it. Be authentic about your conversations. Be authentic about your worries, your pains. I think being in a company, I think the open door policy thing, sometimes it's not so open door policy. I literally have an open door policy. You come in my office, you can close the door. I can be in a meeting. Um, Come in my office, close the door. I might tell you, hey, give me a second. But I'm gonna invite you back into my office and we're gonna close the door and we're gonna have a conversation about what's ever going wrong, whether it's personal, whether it's about work, whether it's just about I just need a shoulder to cry on. That's what I'm here for. I take my job to another level. And I want to show, my growth of encouragement through my employees. So I make sure every single day I tell them how much I respect them and how much I'm not going to let up on you. I need you to understand that, I need to see more of us, within the company, within this world of growth. I need to see more of you. So I'm not going to let up. I'm not going to be that scapegoat for you. I'm going to tell you honestly what you're doing, and I'm going to tell you how to correct it, and we're going to correct it together.
You almost had me over here talking about yes.
If I can just
Trying to
say,
come sit
I
on my
think
couch.
that's I think that's amazing, Emmanuel.
Yes.
If I could say, because when we think about it, we're around each other more than we are around our families, right?
Right.
8 hours a day, like you just said, and for you to do that and have an open door, I just want to commend you for that. So,
Thank you.
Absolutely.
kudos to you.
Kudos.
So you guys, on another note, I'm in a position where I'm in all kind of environments from law firms to manufacturing plants. And I don't know about anyone who may have joined in on our call, but every single day I think hard about what I'm going to wear being black. How am I going to wear my hair? As you can see, it's up to date. Like what outfit, what colors, it's all about how bold do I want to be when I walk into this place of business. And it's just something that it's an everyday thing and it's a little bit hard to carry. So I'm not sure if I'm like code switching or if I got imposter syndromes or anything like that. But have you guys had any experiences at work that make you think you need to plant seeds of change in the workplace? Like anything that you could do to make things better for the person who comes next, or maybe they don't have to do what I do. Um, Jason, you wanna
Yeah.
answer?
No, absolutely. We actually do have to set an example for the ones that are coming up. Um, no one else is going to do it for us, right? I know our parents. I know coming from a black and brown family, black family, your parents teach you from day one that no one's going to give it to you, right? You're going to work hard. You're going to always have to work harder than the next person, and you're going to have to keep fighting. And it's sad that we're in 2025 and we still got to say we're fighting for something, but it is. It's every day. Every day is a fight. And like Emmanuel, my staff is majority black. Um, so coming in here every day, I need to set the example that when I leave this place, that I want one of you guys to take the mantle and keep it moving. Um, I want this place. I want when I leave somewhere to be better than when I took it. So we always got to leave with our best foot forward.
Yeah, you literally gave me chills when you were saying that. Just like the you got to work harder, you got to do more. And Emmanuel, I know you kind of touched on this a little bit too when you just answered that last question. But was there anything else that you think you might want to add to this question? Because I feel like you were really going in that direction.
It definitely, and I said it soon as Jason started talking. Um, my journey just encompassed, because I can say I've been encompassed the remaining half of my life at this point. But I started when I was 21. I started at the deli station because they didn't have a grill cook position open. Um, I worked very hard, and sometimes it felt like I worked triple the amount of time as other people worked. So being young, also being black, you can't make excuses for yourself. You know, like Jason said, I grew up in a household. I didn't have a father in my household. So it was all women. So I had all strong women just to you know chastise me and tell me like nothing's free. Don't feel bad about yourself because ain't nobody else gonna feel bad about you. So pick yourself up. Yes, it's gonna be some adversity. Yes, it's gonna be hard to work with. But you know, we have to lead by example, no matter what, no matter how hard it is, no matter because we're black and we're still dealing with this. Yes, we do know that, but we still are resilient enough to pick ourselves up and lead by example and bounce back from all the negative that ever happened to us individually, our ancestors. And sometimes it hurts to be black, but sometimes it's just proud. I'm just proud to be black as well.
Yes. Okay. Look, that was heavy. So I'm just gonna quickly do some rapid fire questions. All right. Tristan, give me your favorite restaurant.
Favorite restaurant. There's so many. Um, Steakhouse,
Any steakhouse? It doesn't matter.
Texas.
Any steakhouse?
I'm sorry, Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. Okay, good, good, good. We'll take that one. We'll take that one. Jason, favorite restaurant.
Actually, I don't have a favorite restaurant. When my mom comes to town and she cooks, that's my
Oh,
favorite restaurant.
go, mom. Melissa, you got next.
Flor de Mayo,
Well,
Flor de Mayo on 101 in Broadway.
yes, girl. Yes, I'll come
Yes,
back to New York for that one.
yes, Flor de Mayo. If you know, you know.
Emmanuel, favorite restaurant.
Just for the sake of my wife probably being able to creep on here somehow, it's my wife cooking. Favorite restaurant. That's it. He is the restaurant.
Hello. Okay, Emmanuel, I'm coming back to you. Your favorite family vacation.
Canada. I took my whole family to Niagara Falls after me and my wife went on our anniversary, and it was a blast. Niagara Falls is not the romantic place that everybody think about. It got so many attractions and arcades and the whole strip. So, yeah, Canada, Niagara Falls is the best.
Okay, even though we yeah, no, never mind, never mind. Melissa, favorite family vacation.
Mm, when I went to Cuba to visit my sister for the first time.
Yes.
Oh, thanks.
It was the
All y'all in
most,
these international travels.
yes, it was
Okay,
very emotional.
Jason, family
Uh,
vacation.
has to be a tie between Barbados and the Dominican Republic. Those are the two usually we frequent the most. So yeah, those two.
I'm in the wrong position.
Hey, I was just gonna say that too. I said I'm gonna need after this call, I'm gonna need an upgrade.
You know, come on, Tristan. Give me your family
Barbados.
vacation. Don't tell me out of the country.
Say that again. Don't tell you what.
Don't tell me someplace out of the country.
Definitely Jamaica. I'm Jamaican. I have family there and I love to go there and visit. Also, just to sightseeing and, you live somewhere. Sometimes you realize you don't really know the area until you go there for vacation and you do sightseeing and you tour and so forth. So Jamaica, definitely. But overall, I would say anywhere that's warm.
Overall, I would say Japan.
Right?
Jap- Japan is my number one place.
So I've only been to Canada, but I took my family to New York and I thought I was doing something. Y'all leaving the country. I'm gonna do better.
Hey, New
Canada
York
is not a
too.
side of the country, technically.
New York as well. See, I cut through New York to get to Niagara Falls. I know I took the long journey from Michigan and all I had to do was take it, but it was a family vacation. We wanted to sightsee. And New York is beautiful. I love New York.
Yeah, thank you, Emmanuel. At least somebody had my back.
Yeah, I do.
All right, so y'all, we only have a couple of questions left, but I just want to do one more rapid fire real quick. Dream trip. Now, I know where Melissa's going, but Melissa, y'all give it to
Japan, Japan, Japan. Arigato gozaimasu.
him. Yes. Kristen, dream trip.
Dream trip, like to get out of my comfort zone and maybe visit Italy.
Ooh, Italy. Okay, okay. All right, Jason, where you going?
Man, it's hard. A lot of golf courses out there I want to play. uh, 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 Shoot, we went to Europe last year. Africa, actually. I would love to go to Africa. Sorry, Nigeria. I would love to go to Ghana, Ivory Coast. Yeah. So,
Okay. Emmanuel, where you going?
I was hoping just to travel with Jason. At this point, if you could just come pick me and my family up after.
come on, man.
No, honestly,
I got a couple coworkers here that go on vacation with me when I go on vacation. So
you
you
know,
good. I got managers all over town that come vacation with
right?
me. So let's come on.
Honestly, China. I mean, it's just like it's different. It's out of my comfort zone, and I always wanted to, learn the language a little bit. I don't ask me why Chinese would is language I wanted to learn, but I think it's the exciting and the different, the writing of it. So I would love to visit there.
Awesome. Those are some amazing places. So my place is Greece, by the way. Okay.
Nice.
All right, y'all. So I just wanted to break the ice a little bit. We were getting heavy, and I just wanted to kind of let's just break the ice. So it's no secret that Black individuals show up socially and demand change. It's heavy to know that it comes down to your actions in order for there to be progress. So, how can other individuals and communities actively support the advancement and success of Black professionals and Black people overall? Um, so, I want to say, Jason, you'd be a great person to answer this.
So I actually had the opportunity to to mentor and bring somebody along this year, which was pretty cool. It was first time. So I coached my daughter's soccer teams for years. Um, and one of the players was we were I don't know where we were. She was talking. She came. She called. She texted me and said, "Hey, I want to go to culinary school." I said, "Oh." I said, "Don't do it." That was the first thing I said. I was like, "No, hey, let's find a different career for you. This is not what you want to do." And we talked about it for a little bit, and she was passionate about it. So I said, "All right, you passionate about it? Let's see what I can do." So I actually ended up having an opportunity for her to come work with me over the summer, and before she went to Johnson Wells, and I was so amazed of how advanced that young lady was above everybody else, and the the passion she had for this. It made me think about how I was when I first came in, and having that passion for this, and I was like, man, this is. I wish we could do this more. I think we can do this more across the board. We just have to get more uh, clients on board with it and more of our leadership involved with this to get more of these young people to get out there, especially into our communities that want the opportunity to do this and do it before they go to school to see if they really love to do this. Because I know a lot of people that go to school and go to school for this and then end up like, I really don't want to do this.
Yep.
So that was my piece.
Yeah, I think it's hospitality in general is like a labor of love. Like you have to love it. You can't you can't really do this to get by, right? It's not one of those things where you can be like, oh, I just want to do something for now. Nah, you gotta love hospitality for real.
Yes.
Melissa, you want to chime in?
Yes, so I feel like we could get involved by supporting pay transparency and equity initiatives, address racial wage gaps, right? We can also push more for the DEI training and focus on more racial bias, microaggression, as well as inclusive leadership. You know, some of us Black, individuals, including myself, as a Black person, you know, as a Black professional, I face a lot of racial bias and workplace stress and discrimination. And I feel like, you know, it would be important if we had somebody to support us on mental health or workplace stress and stuff, because I was in a situation where I'm not working. I was stressed because of the discrimination, and I locked myself in the bathroom. And the only two options was to flight or fight, and it would have been helpful if we did have, that somebody besides um, the company's manager, a professional there to talk about workplace stress or to talk about um, discrimination and mental health and mental awareness. So if it happens to me, I'm sure it'll happen to the next person too. But it would have been nice to have a professional there to talk about you know that stress that I felt in that moment for the first time, because I never felt that before. So I didn't know what was happening, and it's hard. So if we have more support on mental health and cultural awareness resources, that would have been great.
I, I think you like really hit the nail on the head, right?
Yes,
When
you
it
did.
comes to racial biases, mental health, and our well-being at work, man. I want to open up the floor. If Jason want to say something else, or Emmanuel want to add another point in on this, what y'all think might
I
be
do.
helpful.
So I think out of what Jason said, Melissa said, all of it is beautiful, but I think it just sums it up exactly what I'm gonna say. How you can support any Black individual that I know, that's been in this corporate or this company is one word: trust. Trust that we are capable to do this job, trust that we have willingness to learn, and trust that we will succeed and grow the next person because of all of the racial bias. So if you would just entrust and give us more trust and trust us that we are capable, we are capable to do anything, because I can only speak for for myself and some of the Black individuals that I've been around is we're resilient. Where I grew up from, I came from nothing. So, it's not like, oh, when you give me a little piece of this action that I'm just gonna mess this up. I don't want to mess up. I can't afford to mess up. We can't afford to mess up. We got other people that we got to bring up. We got kids that we need to raise. We got even people that I'm a basketball coach. So I've got other kids that I'm raising on the court and I'm raising off of the court. So just trust. Just trust that we'll do the right thing. Just trust that we are here and we're willing to grow and willing to be passionate just as the next person.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
trust is a big word, and I feel like we earned it at this point, right? It just feels like we put a lot of work in. It's like we really earned it at this point. And then sometimes I think about like I understand like it's about making money, right? We here because our company's making money. We need to make money to grow. But at what point do we take a step back and say, what about our associates, right? What about our associates' well-being? When is the money not good money, right? When is the company that you might be working with almost diabolical, right? To the person's mental health. Like there's no reason why Melissa should have been in a situation where she had to go into a closet and cry. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason why she had to do that. There shouldn't be a place. You shouldn't go to work and feel threatened. You shouldn't go to work and feel like fight or flight. That's
Exactly. And that's sorry to cut you off. And that's why I said it would be helpful if a professional other than our manager, because our manager might also be in the same position and to take on our problems as well as theirs, that's a lot to put on one person's plate. So, like you said, when is the money not as important as the person? Like you need, like we enjoy what we do. We trust that we can do the job, but like, well, when are we going to get that support?
right. Exactly.
How much trust or how much do I have to show you in order to get that support, to get that mental health support or that um, work awareness relief, or somebody to know that, to recognize that I am going through something, you know,
Yeah.
and I
Melissa,
wouldn't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I had some similar things, especially within the last year. And I actually, being in the black community, we, especially a black man, we sometimes we don't want to talk to nobody. Sometimes we can't talk to nobody or we feel like we can't. So it took a lot for me to actually talk to somebody, and I used um the Headspace app that we have. And I went in there with little to none like appreciation for it. Tell you the truth, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna listen to this, and you're gonna tell me that I need to, go drink some tea, whatever you're gonna tell me, but it really helped. It did.
And
It really helped.
and and I'm pretty sure that's why I say Flick is great. They have all these platforms and all these things to help us out through microaggression, through the headspace, the relaxing sessions, to talk about workplace stress and everything. But but so many times you're gonna watch a
Right,
video
right. And
and
what the help is on the ground level.
so like I said, like it would be nice if it's nothing crazy, have somebody, a professional, not your manager, not corporate, outside person to come in and help deal with that mental awareness or that workplace stress, or, you know, just somebody who's not your boss, somebody
Yeah.
who's not your coworker, because they too might have their own situation at work. Or also, I might leave, and then the next person who's there, the next young Black female might go through the same situation, and who's she gonna who's she gonna speak to?
It just becomes a cycle. You're right.
Right. So that is a really huge way, So y'all executives, if y'all are listening, this is where we're saying we need some help, we need some support in these areas. I also have used better help, which I got through the EAP line. So all right, so Let's end this on a good note. All right, at the end of your career, not that this wasn't good. It's 100% helpful and it's needed and it's impactful and it needs to be said. That's the most important part. Everything that y'all said today, it needed to be said. But now we got to leave a legacy, right? So at the end of your career, what's the legacy that you want to leave behind? Tristan?
Um, sure.
Okay.
For my career legacy, mm, I would like to leave behind my knowledge, my dedication to hard work, and positive influence on others, inspiring others to follow my example and pursue similar goals. I have dealt with a lot of ups and downs in my career, obstacles, hurdles, roadblocks, basically many challenges. And I kept striving for success. Like Emmanuel, Jason, Melissa all said, we are resilient, and failure for us just isn't an option, right? We
Mhm.
have mouths to feed, family to take care of, just like everyone else. But it seems, for people like us, there's an extra step that we have to take. So hard work does pay off, and I would say that I am a living example of that. And I am here now, grateful to be invited to speak on this wonderful panel, you guys, and talk about conversation for change. So I would say, no, hard work. So thank you.
Thank you. Melissa?
Well, I am confident that I will leave a positive legacy for my family and future employees. I feel like if you understand and you are passionate about what you do, if you are true to yourself and you will maintain a passion for what you love and you ultimately, ultimately it will pay off. You know, it will show that all the efforts and all the hard work and everything you've done, at the end of the day, somebody's going to notice and you're going to get to that point where you need to be. So don't give up. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be rainbows and skittles. Just continue being passionate, continue working hard, and appreciate what you do for your culture. And I hope that I can inspire them to be them better selves and to be a great African American in a working labor environment.
Yes, great words. Emmanuel?
Wow. What do I want to leave? Just that I helped as many people as I possibly could. Um, I left it all on the floor. I played basketball, I coached basketball, and I I haven't been able to do it on another level. So I leave it on the floor. So for every ball that roll out, I dive on it. Um, and I just want to make sure that I clear the path and I break the wall down so people don't have to struggle or go through the emotional, ups and downs and the ridicule and the age, gap. And I just want to leave behind me, and that's who I am. I'm a person that's gonna go out and do hard work, and I'm gonna bring the next person with me. And if you don't have another person with you, and I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna take another person until you bring somebody with you, until we got a whole line of people coming with us.
There you go.
Authenticity. Jason, what do you want to leave behind?
Oh man, it's I just want to set the next group of us to be successful. I would love to see the people that we are training, that we are mentoring, that we are training to be the next DMs, the next VPs, the next president of the company. I want somebody to come up and do great things and be like, man, I that that's for me right there. That's what I'm hoping to leave. I'm honest with my staff. I am I come in every day. It's genuine. If you have an issue, we're gonna solve it. Um, just leave it here, man. We family. I spend more time with these people than I do my family, and I just want them to have the best. Um, and that's all I can do.
Absolutely. So I don't have a legacy. So my final words would be each one reach one. There's no telling where they will grow. And I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you all for joining our panel today. And let me pass this over to Trudy to close us out.
I had a whole thing planned, but then I started crying because y'all really, as a good friend of mine, Ann says all the time, you drop the mic. I do want to maybe just connect. As we started, Jason said, "Hey, I don't really see, how this is impacting me." And then he went on to speak about how he's impacting his immediate community and his own associates so meaningfully. I heard Emmanuel talk about how he is so dedicated to supporting and showing his team members who he is and who he expects them to be. And I do want to say that though it's not a program, you all embody what it really means to be true leaders in the business. I'm so grateful for you all for having what many people in the comments have called vulnerable and brave conversations. A couple of things. Rick posted in the comments the link for Headspace that we all, if you're participating in the Compass Group, sorry, benefits program, you have access to that for free. So I do encourage you to at least start the journey of connecting with folks who can support your mental health. The goal is if once you connect with that person, you'll say, "Hey, I think I need more." And you will actually move into connecting with an individual therapist or a person who can help you care for your mental health on an individualized basis because it is so important. We are nothing without our mental health. We are nothing without our communities, as we all really shared here today together. I'm so grateful again for all of you for showing up and showing us how it should be, and actually to show everyone who's watching now and who will watch later what is really happening in the Flick community and how you all are continuing to be the people who you want to see examples of. So all of you, thank you so much. All the people watching today and as we follow up, thank you all so much. Trisha, thank you so much for being an amazing moderator. Panelists, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Um, Black History Month, another one. Thank you so much all.
Without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell.